how I've seen bands that have different genres. Like, it's like the way that I see it is like I'll be like a cover band type of deal because I can play like different styles or different songs, but I'll be like original music. Like, you know, when you see bands go from like, I don't know, like I've seen it like maybe like at a swap meet or something that they're playing like cumbia and then they go to like rock and then like that's awesome.
Yep.
But everything they're playing is cover music, you know? Like,
Yep.
obviously my music won't be that drastic, you know, but that's how I see it. Because I even see, like when I play ska shows and we play the cumbias to people that listen to ska, like they could still relate to it because they grew up with cumbias.
Yeah.
It just gets the dance floor like really going, you know? And
Yeah.
so far the feedback that I've gotten, it's never bad. So I just think when you're just being yourself and you're not trying to force to like stick out or anything like that, it just kind of flows, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. Recently, what I've been noticing is you've been playing a lot of big shows, and it's been like mostly like headline shows because of you. Have you always like headlined your own shows, or is this
No, well,
new,
I mean,
or?
those shows were headlining because, you know, they were my CD release.
Mm-hmm.
So it was with the help of Evil Core that, you know, they were like, you know, we want to help you like get this album out and grow as an artist. So, you know, shout out to Evil Core, like they have definitely helped me out in like getting out there, you know, so yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, that's cool, man. You know, I fuck with a lot of the promoters that aren't afraid to like, you know, book bands that aren't like, you know, in their immediate circle of friends, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it means it's like,
and I mean, if you really think about it, like it's like they like just like let's just say like Evil Core, like they have like a following, right?
yeah.
And so, like you said, giving me that space to be headliner for my own album show and things like that, like that's taking a risk, you know. So it's much appreciated that you know promoters or just even just like people in the scene like believe in you type of deal. So
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can't really, you know, deny good music when it's presented. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could turn your back all you want and you know have a bias, but I mean, at some point, it's like, you know.
And you know, sometimes I tell like my fellow other artists or just any other musician that's struggling to get gigs and things like that. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like you have to continue to put your music out regardless of the whatever's happening, you know. And this one thing that one of my friends that has a record label told me, like, just let the music speak for itself. And like that has really helped me like just continue to push forward regardless of like rejection or whatnot, you know.
Yeah, most def.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, they also have, it's not just about like favoritism. Like, it's not about like, oh, you know, it's also about money, you know, like that's the reality of it. Like, promoters have to make sure that they're not going to be out of pocket and things like that, you know. Yeah. Now that I'm managing my own band, like I have to, like I see it in a different perspective opposed to just showing up to a rehearsal and then showing up to a show and getting gas money. Like now I'm on the other side, you know. I have to make sure that, you know, we're going to be taken care of, or if we're not, like, you know, that nobody's really going to be like, hey, you know, like I'm spending so much money and you're not paying me and things like that. It's hard to like keep it going sometimes because as me, like I fund everything myself, you know, so I sometimes, you know, go out of pocket. So now I see that promoters also have to think about it that way, you know.
Yeah.
They have to think about like, are they gonna have enough people to not be like owing the, you know, the rent and things like that.
Yeah.
So I do think it's pretty dope that, you know, I've gotten the opportunity from like Evil Core to headline my own shows, and like I said, it's risky because they also have to think about like paying rent and things like that. So.
Yeah, it's always risky, especially I don't know if you've ever thrown your own shows, but it's like every venue has like different sets of guidelines. Like most venues you know, it's either like a whole like price that they charge you to rent the spot, or it's a membership that they charge you, I don't know, monthly or yearly, or it's like a stipulation. And it's weird because, you know, most of the time as a promoter, I think you're like always are going out of pocket, and the money.
You see, like, you know, there's sometimes that like, you know, like for all rehearsals comes out of my pocket, and you know, sometimes there's no pay for shows. So, you know, my musicians have help where they have to pay, you know, for their gas and things like that. But like I said, like that's the reality of it too, that we're basically doing this for the love mainly, you know. So if it was up to money, then there wouldn't be a scene. So it's still like one of those things that we continue to like try to like make this grow, you know. But it's definitely all for the love. Like we're all been doing this for the love. Like all the years I've played in shows, it's all been for fun and to keep it, you know, alive.
Yeah. No, I think you have a lot of potential because the music is very graspable. You know, it's not like an acquired taste. You know, like it's really good just based off first listens. You know, it's not like something that you have to listen over and over to like. You know, it's not like math rock.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or it's not like, I don't know.
And you know what? Like at the end of the day, like I tell people, like people won't, like if you're gonna make music to just like make it and you're not really being yourself, like that could only go for so far. There's so many artists that only have like one hit wonder and then they disappear, you know? So I think, at least for me, like I'm doing it because it's something that I love to do. And you know, we'll see where it gets me.
Yeah, you know, also, you know, don't be afraid to think big. Like the ska scene is not just big in LA, like it's pretty big in Argentina. It's big in the UK.
Mexico. You know how big the ska scene is in Mexico? It's crazy. Like
the Mexican ska scene is huge. I mean, you know, just off like different countries alone. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you've thought of that, you know, but I mean, you know.
Oh yeah, I definitely do want to travel. Like that's something that it's gonna happen. It's one of those things that I'm like, oh yeah, like no one's gonna stop me. And I'm pretty stubborn, you know, like I'm pretty stubborn when it comes to certain things. Yeah. Like even if I have to do a fundraiser, like it's gonna happen, you know.
I got you, yeah.
I'm gonna start a GoFundMe page, you know. Help me go to Mexico. Well, of course, after this whole coronavirus is gone, you know, so.
If you don't have a passport and then you want to get like an expedited, you know.
Oh my God, don't even get me started. So we went to Canada in November and my bass player was having such a hard time getting his passport.
Okay.
And luckily he got it like a week or two before we were leaving, but he said he was like sweating bullets. So he'll definitely relate to this. And we all paid the extra fees. Like I paid like I don't know how much more. Everyone paid extra fees to get it expedited because it was, and this is before the Rona, you know. So yeah.
Damn. That was like right before it too, because
November we went November 22nd or November 21st. It was it was so cold.
Yeah. I've never been to Canada, but I've always wanted to, you know, just like explore, I guess, but I never got the chance.
I recommend it. People are really nice out there, like extremely nice. I was just like, wow, they're saying hi to us.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Strangers say hi to you and they're polite.
Is it kind of like Mexico where you can't like pass somebody unless you say buenas noches or buenas tardes?
You know what? The only part of Mexico that I've been is Tijuana. And I actually haven't even been to Tijuana in like 5 years, so.
Got you. Yeah. Going there for the dances is a steal, though.
Those tacos are bomb.
I walked by some store and there was a shirt. They were selling merch. It was a shop and they were selling merch, and the shirt said, "Don't do drugs, eat tacos," or something like that. I was like, all right.
I agree.
Well, I would grab it. I would buy it, you know. But yeah. So I guess just to wrap up, I mean, the obvious question on everyone's mind, you're a musician. We just talked a lot about live shows. Coronavirus canceled everything until 2021. Well, it didn't necessarily cancel everything, but that's basically what's going to happen. I think a lot of the bigger festivals aren't going to happen until like 2021 for sure. I think local shows, maybe, I think we'll be back by at least September, maybe. I think for sure once the bars open, bar shows are for sure going to be happening. But what do you think? Like, how do you think it's looking? Do you like, I don't want to sound pessimistic, but it's almost like, I guess I think of like the bigger artists that almost rely on like tour money to like pay their bills, and they're not like the best money. How do I say this? They're not the best with money, like handling money or managing their finances. And so now that shit's like taken away from them.
Yeah, like I think right now it's definitely a hard time to be like a big touring artist, you know. Imagine, like, usually what I've noticed for touring bands is they have a whole team, a whole crew, right?
Yeah.
So that crew's definitely out of work because there's no, you know. So then now the artist is like kind of like, I almost feel that the artist could probably even feel like sad, you know, right now that they can't help out like their crew. I mean, I'm sure they bond with people and things like that. So I think it's just really hard times. Like I've been seeing a lot of articles of like venues are going to close down, you know?
Yeah.
So if venues are having a hard time, you know, imagine touring artists that they're definitely going to have to start looking at other ways to making money. And so far, I think the whole digital and online is what's going to really save them right now. You know, selling merch, you know, the streaming. Mm-hmm. But I know that even like Spotify took a hit, you know, with people not streaming because nobody's driving to work. So, you know, so I don't know. I'm honestly, I mean, I have a 9 to 5, you know, but I don't know. I just do think it's really hard times for like artists right now, from management to like crew and so. Yeah, I think the only thing we can make it like the only way it's going to be positive is just creating more music right now. So when we're back up, like you have a lot of content, you know, or a lot of things to promote and tour for.
That's what I was talking about the other day with the homies. I was telling them, even like the live streaming thing, that is what saves, or, you know, what could save. But I guess like in the context of like, you know, like the whole virus, you know, is it smart to go link up with your band for a night, you know, to go live stream if like one of the band members was exposed earlier? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that, you know? But I feel you. I feel you though. I think a lot of the digital shit is definitely gonna be what saves people. But
I think honestly, what I've seen a lot of like bands and things is just pushing their merch right now, and like pushing their streams. Like that's a way that people could support us right now. That I think they should know. Like, hey, if you buy merch and you listen to our stuff right now, or even tune into our lives, you know, like that's gonna help us out a lot. You know, and that's what we can do. Meanwhile, I mean, a lot of things are on hold, so it's not like we're not the only industry that's on hold. You know, there's so many other industries that are taking a hit, and I think we're gonna bounce back. It's just a matter of time now. It's not the end of the world, you know. I hope not, but you know, it's gonna be a new world, and we're gonna bounce back. We'll figure it out. I feel like we always do. Like, human mind is just very creative.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, I agree. I think the music industry will
bounce back. It'll bounce back. I mean, it's gonna take a little bit of like, you know, adjusting, but we'll be fine.
Yeah, most definitely. Hey, well, thank you, yo. I think it's a
thank you, Alejandro.
I appreciate it, for real. Yeah, Maria Blues.
Hey.
Look who it is. Stream, look who it is. Hey, that's just.
Look who it is. Thank you. Bye.
For real.
Bye, Alejandro.
It's a really good album, yo. For real. Good shit.
Thank you so much.
And I'm excited about the EP. Definitely send me all the updates. You know, I'm gonna repost.
For sure. Thank you, Alejandro.
Sure, man.
Bye. Have a nice one. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the homegirl Maria Blues. The new album is called Look Who It Is. Make sure you stream it on all your streaming apps. Get that shit, you know what I'm saying? It's fucking fire. And thanks again for listening to the SKA CAST, you know what I'm saying? We're about to be back with more episodes. Make sure you follow Maria Blues on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything, you know what I'm saying? She's going to be working on a new EP, as you heard. Please stay safe and have a good weekend, everybody, you know what I'm saying?